Welcome into another edition of the Cavalier Connection podcast. I'm your host, Jack Lowe, joined as always by my dad, Jeff Lowe, and Jay Ballard. Guys, how we doing today? Since I forgot last episode, Dad, how you doing?
Oh, you care?
Yeah, I care. Absolutely, I care.
I'm doing outstanding.
What else would I be on this podcast for?
It's game week. It's to take shots at me, but it's game week, so I'm doing well.
It's game week.
Absolutely. It's
Jay?
game week. You know, we're excited. Got a great guest tonight. Don't get no better.
Yeah, I mean, listen, a few days ago, it's 1 week till game day, and you are fired up thinking about it. But then you get to Tuesday, and all of a sudden, Coach Elliott has a press conference, and you have audio to listen to, and you have a depth chart release, and it's like, holy cow, we're here. We're only a few days away from kicking off the football season. This is really exciting. And like you said, Jay, we got a great guest lined up for us tonight. The Ball Hawk returning to the program once again, going to discuss what's cracking down this upcoming season. But before we get to that, we got to get to our one and only Mincer's Moment this week. Because the Who's haven't kicked off football yet, we have another route we're going to take tonight, and we're going to go with Eli Hamrick, the quarterback who has committed to Virginia, had a nice week one at his high school. So we're going to take a look at his huddle clips and see what he has to offer.
Look at the touch on that deep ball.
That's right.
Got there in a hurry, too. Kid's got a cannon.
He shows off the speed.
Whoop. Oh, my.
Whoop. You ain't catching me.
Whoop.
Nope.
Whoop.
Boom. Just let's not take those crazy hits in the game. Don't need to lose them.
A little run option pass there. Goes late across the middle. Might not work at college, but oh, my.
Yeah. And then
No
that
high schooler's
going
going to stop it.
Yeah, ain't no high schooler stopping, that's for sure.
This is on the road, too. He's a road warrior.
Sideline.
He's a road warrior. Boom!
Oh!
I don't think you can do that to a college player, though.
Look at that.
It reminds me.
Nice touch on the rollouts.
It reminds me of the Brennan Armstrong against Virginia Tech when he trucked over the Tech player.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the result didn't go our way, but
Yeah.
look at
That
that
was
powering
just
his
a prayer of
way.
a throw up before.
And that is your film from week one of Eli Hamrick. Looking great out there. So congratulations to Eli. You are our Mincer's Moment of the Week winner. Looking great out there. Cannot wait for you to put on the orange and blue and be a Wahoo. Jay?
Yeah, I think by the time he's ready to take over the reins, we could be 3-4 years into Tony Elliott's turnaround. What do you think?
Yeah.
The question is there going to be will we have played in a playoff game at that point?
Ooh, according to Jay, that's a yes. So
Big talk.
Big
Well,
talk.
Jack, don't put that on me. I didn't quite say that we were going to. I said there's a path.
I 100% agree with your optimism. I'm really excited for this football season. I'm not going to say that you're right, but I'm also not going to sit here and be a pessimist because I'm really excited for this football season. With
And
that,
go
ahead.
if we get there, we're hooked up. We've got tickets
We are hooked
already.
up. Absolutely.
Jake Malasek, if you think we've forgotten you, buddy, we
We
got
wrote it
50-yard
down.
line seats.
I want to be sitting next to Malasek and John Gruden.
Listen, I went in my dad's bedroom earlier today, and I looked at the ceiling above the bed, and it's a poster, and it reminds every day when he wakes up, the first thing he sees, Jake Malasek going to buy college football playoff tickets. So he's not going to forget about it.
We're going to have to edit that out. I don't have a picture of Jake Malasek on the ceiling of my bed.
It's not a
Oh,
picture of Jake Malasek.
risque.
Quote. With that being said, though, be sure to go check out your Mincers. You're at the corner at Stonefield. Get all your stuff. I'm placing my order here later tonight after the episode. Get some gear for this first football game coming up Saturday. Alrighty, and joining us now, the host of the Believe in Virginia podcast, the former Who to wear the orange and blue, had the infamous touchdown catch against Virginia Tech. He's now the radio color commentator for the broadcast. Ball Hawk joins us once again. Ball Hawk, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing well. How y'all doing?
Doing good.
Real
Good. Thanks.
Good. Glad to have you back on the program. How was year one in the booth for you, working with John Freeman and occasionally Matt Schaub?
Oh, it was a lot of fun, like a dream come true. I've been preparing for years to be in that spot and just waiting patiently. And, my time was called, and again, I was still just trying to learn on the job, just learn from John and reading his cues and when to jump in. And then when Matt was in the booth, working a 3-man booth is a little different, but just trying to gain knowledge even when Matt stepped in because of his mind of being a quarterback and how he saw the game, helped me see the game better, even as an analyst and just breaking down the film. So it was a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to this year.
That's awesome. What would you say you learned, and can we expect what can we expect from this year from the team?
Well, just from the job aspect, just timing, how to enunciate and communicate faster, but still be informative, just speeding up my speech, just because a lot of times plays happen so fast. And if you want to add something to the mix, you got to really know when to jump in and when to jump out. So John can provide the lead up to as far as like where the ball is on the hash, what's the down the distance, the time is left, what's the picture of the formation for the people listening. So that's why I really learned on the fly. And I just really learned also just how to hold my composure, being a former player and an alum, of when things are going right and not just allowing my emotions to take over all the time, but really still providing the analytical side of not really trying to just give excuses of why something's not happening, because that's my rose-colored glasses just want to just blame the refs or something like that. So I really learned that in real time, because it's really tough. Like sometimes, John, to tell you, sometimes I'll just drop my head and I just won't say nothing, because it's better not to say anything if you can't say anything nice. And I don't want to just feel like I was just attacking like refs or saying like, be like a spoiled kid, like they're cheating, like there's no way that happened, so that's the main thing.
Yeah, for sure. And I imagine it's kind of hard, not hard, but a bit harder when you're in that 3-man crew with Schaub in there to know when to jump in, when to not jump in, because Schaub might have something to say. And when there's 3 of you, you all want to talk at the same time too, as well.
Yeah, that's a great point. Just trying to better understand everybody's cues of when they want to provide their feedback of what took place or give insight. And the great thing about Matt and myself is, if we were on offense, I really wanted to give him the floor and give listeners, like a better insight on the minds of Andy Calandria in certain pass plays, or the mind of Des Kitchen approach to a certain call, because he has the cachet more than me in that aspect. And then he would give me the leeway defensively. And I always used to always love when he would just add on to like my thoughts on a secondary call and coverage. And then he would say, hey, because as a quarterback, I'm seeing X, Y, Z pre-snap. So it would just play off each other. And he would throw things at me when he's discussing the offense. He would like, defensively, Hawk, if you were a corner, what would be your thoughts when facing Andy Calandria in this down the distance, based off what we've seen so far during the game. So I thought every time we joined each other on the game, we got better and better.
That's awesome. I love to hear playing off each other like that.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is the most challenging aspect from a announcing perspective when you are having a losing season, when you're having a 5-7 season, when you're on a losing skid like you are in the middle of the season? What's the most challenging aspect of that?
To not feed the wolves. And like when things aren't going bad, it's easy to just remain negative. And I'm never afraid to be glass half full, because that's just my approach in life. So sometimes that could catch me in hot water with the fans, because they may really want Petty Hawk to come out and really just hit somebody while they're down. But it's like, I feel like that's the easiest thing to do. So I always like to go with the more difficult aspect, because it really challenges me mentally and communicative wise, as far as like really, breaking down thoughts of having you see something a different way. It may come off as an excuse and not really telling the truth, but it's like, if we're losing and we're on a losing streak and we're not playing well, I think that's being Captain Obvious. So it's like, what can we do to right the ship? So that's going to be my mindset. And a lot of times John will throw that to me, because he knows me personally. He was like, Hawk, the Who's have had 4 straight 3-and-outs and then 2 turnovers. Like, what can you do as a leader to get guys going and stay and remain positive? Like, what can you draw on? And I love when he throws that to me, because that's just my mindset. Like, I never feel like I'm out of a game unless it's like 3 touchdowns in less than a minute. But I still got a chance, because there's a lot that happened in a minute.
So I know you're quite active on social media. And being in the role you are, how often do you have information that you so badly want to share, but you know you can't for whatever reason?
It's a lot of times, and it really, like, I used to struggle, but now I don't, because I value relationships more than breaking news. Like, so it's like, I'll know if a player's injured, and somebody be like, "Where's so and so?" And I'm like, man, I could probably get a lot of retweets and likes if I share the information. It's like, but is it worth it? Because you know, that's not just not my lane. I just always feel like I could just provide insight once the information is shared, and I feel like I'm privy to that information because they know I won't share it. So that's just one of the things that if I do share it, it'll be the last time I'll be in the know. So that it could get tough because we all want to be the first to break it. And I really feel like that's just not my calling. So I never try to be that person to be first to report something. I really just like to recap what's been shared. I feel like that's just me.
Yeah. So we're heading into year 4 under Coach Elliott. What's your sense on how the locker room has bought into his culture and the vision for the program?
You know, I really feel like the addition of proven winners from other schools transferring in has really amplified what he's tried to convey his first day, but he probably didn't do the best as far as communicating it amongst the players that were in the locker room. And there's a lot of turnover as well. So a lot of the guys that probably didn't buy in aren't here anymore. So with the added addition of proven winners and then the guys that kind of believe in his preaching from day one and really stayed the course, it's like a happy marriage. Like everybody's super confident. You know, you heard on his press conference, you know, you could just, any coach you talk to when they've been talking to the media, it's like a true organic excitement because it's so many just positive people within that building that believe that they can win at least 6 games, be bowl eligible, and compete for an ACC title. You know, and they truly believe that. But, you know, everybody's going to be wait and see just because our previous 3 seasons. But that's the main thing I see is like their work ethic and how they work and how they communicate and the leadership that's on display is like it's night and day.
That's exciting to hear. Are there any changes you've seen from the coaching staff that fans may notice or that you've picked up on?
No, not really. I mean, I know they probably want me to say something about Dez, but I mean, I really don't. I just really feel like it's better talent. I always feel like talent can make a coach look better.
Yeah.
Like, period. Talent will make a coach look better. You may think a coach is bad, he'll get talent in, and that same coach might be making the same plays, but they just execute them more, or they just out-talent you. And then at the end of the day, you get the results, and with results, you praise the player and or the coach, just depending on how long you're successful. You know, like the first year, you can just say, oh, you just had better talent. But if it's 2 or 3 years in a row, then you like, all right, I got to respect the coach. But at the end of the day, if you know, get the talent and then you put the talent in the best position to be successful, and then they make you look good by executing like they should, I mean, it's just night and day. So that's why everybody's excited this year, because they not only have talent, there's a lot of it at each position that can help, you know, not barring injury. Like, you know, barring injury is like, no, we could actually pull him and put him in there and we still be competitive.
Yeah, when we had Tyler Neville on, and he said, guys, like, you may not see it, you know, we're not the film experts. He was like, but you would not believe how close we were from being 5-7 to 7-5, 8-4. Just one block here, you know, one missed assignment there, you know, and he was talking about Coach Kitching specifically, saying it wasn't necessarily the play calls. It was just one piece of execution wasn't there, and you see the result, but we see, you know, how close we are. So, I mean, that's encouraging, I think, with the talent, like you said, that we have. But there is a lot of urgency, I think, this year for Coach. It's kind of a prove it year.
Yep.
Do you think that he feels that pressure, and do you think the players feel that pressure for him?
I don't think the players necessarily feel it. because it doesn't really affect like it's not their job on the line in a sense. I know when I played, I never like thought about if my coach would get fired, or that's just something that never crossed my mind. Maybe I was just naive. But as far as Coach Elliott, it just depends on what his superiors are telling him behind closed doors. I know as a competitor, you want to show that you're good at what you do. So I know as a head coach of winning 3-3 and then 5 games last year, with the excitement around the program and the talent that you see they have on your team, you want to meet the expectations in which you set forth for your team. So if you don't meet those expectations, personally, you feel like you failed as a leader, you're always going to be the first to be like, it was my fault. And I think Tony's one of those individuals, like he's always going to accept blame. And I know a lot of times that seems like coaches talk, but leaders are always going to be the first one to say, I failed. Because we don't want somebody doing, what happened a couple of years ago down at Virginia Tech when we played 4 quarterbacks, and they were just, we saw what happens when you blame the players. It's just not cool. Right. So you always want a coach to say, hey, I assume responsibility.
Yeah. So, every team wants to play for a championship, but what do you think is a successful season, like by Coach Elliott standards? Like, what do you think at the end of the day he would say, yeah, we were successful this year?
Personally, I don't like personally knowing Coach Elliott, if they don't get to the ACC championship, he probably would still want to win it. He's that competitive. So for him, if we don't win the ACC championship, it's a failure for him. That's how he feels. Me being around, like he's super competitive. Me personally, you win 8 games. Like I would say 7, but I feel like you win 8 games, you really turn the program around, and your trajectory goes up, because that's going to attract more transfers to come. I feel like that'll keep even the NIL donations, coming in, because you're showing return on investment. It's a business. Will 7 wins do it? Yeah, but you probably won't get the same support. And you may, but you go from 3, 3, 5, then 8. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And it's got to include a Tech win.
Definitely include Tech. You win 7 and beat Tech. Then
So earlier this morning, you have the Coach Elliott's press conference. You hear about his parking ticket situation, but that's another story for another day. Depth charts come out for the Coastal game. Any surprises with the depth chart, you think?
I really was looking at the right tackle situation. I thought Whitmer may beat out Wallace, but Wallace ended up taking it. I felt like the left side would, because I said it on my podcast, that my most recent one, I felt like Bowley and Josie would show up the left side. The OGs would be on the left side, but everybody else was the same. I know Taylor jumped out to everybody because he's a starter, and then Xavier's the second string, but it's going to be a 3-headed monster, really, from the running back position. So it's not about who start. It's just about who performs. So I know that jumped out to everybody. I will say this. The most surprise to me, and I kind of understand it, but the most surprise to me was that Donovan Platt wasn't a starter, but I understand why he wasn't a starter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the quarterback situation. Chandler Morris brings in experience from TCU and North Texas.
Yep.
What stands out to you about his game, and how does this experience change what UVA can do offensively this year?
His ability to process information, and that's really vague, so I'll just go more in depth. His ability, like his pre-snap reads, post-snap read, his ability to identify matchups and be decisive. But like, he's not going to wait until a receiver gets open. He understands coverage and the route concepts and where the ball should go, and it goes there. And the ball is there in a hurry. Yes, he's, similar as far like he's shorter for a quarterback, but he understands how to find the holes in the pocket. He will climb the pocket. Very sneaky, athletic. Like, he can run. He's not a make you miss in a phone booth guy, but he's a guy that straight line. You better hope somebody on defense don't just act like they could just use an angle to get him, because he'll outrun you. So that's what I'm excited about. Just seeing his ability to show that arm talent when pressing the ball down the field because he has that ability. But he'll take the 3 and 4 yard routes and allow his receivers to make plays down the field. I think a lot of times what gets lost in football is that mesh concept is so very hard to stop because you have to be very sound as far as tackling in space. So if you get the ball to receivers in space and you're forcing defenders to not only tackle in space, but rally to the football because of the possibility that they could break a tackle and go, and you get back to the line of scrimmage and you clap and get everybody going, and then you can high-low this side and get the ball out, and then you get right back to, like, you running with tempo. That takes a lot out of a defense. Now they are really vanilla, running a lot of base coverage where you could see they're just keeping things in front of them. Now you're like dictating what you want them to do versus last year teams just started pinning their ears back and coming after us. And now we're trying to push the ball down the field because it was times where our quarterback may not take the 4 yard route. That's right there. Right. You know, because they get kind of lost up in the personal grudge of, let me push the ball down the field, let me make a big play. That 4 yard route ended up being the big play. Like, just take that. And we saw a lot of offenses do that to our defense. They just take it.
Yeah, so we've heard a lot about Cam Ross, I know. Are there some other offensive weapons that you think are flying under the radar but could break out this season?
Break out? I mean, I like Cam Courtney. I always felt like Trail is a star. He just got banged up last year.
Right,
For sure.
A guy that's had a really strong fall camp that people probably not talking about is Eli Wood. Like, Eli Wood has been explosive and just has perfect timing of when to make the big play for our offense and get in that end zone. So I'm excited about him. The biggest person, like the player that I'm most intrigued by, and I might be biased because he's wearing number 9 now, is Dakota. Like,
Okay.
Since Jelani Woods, he's not Jelani Woods because Jelani was a freak, but Dakota is a receiver now in a tight end's body.
Yep.
Like, to me, he can be that matchup because everybody plays 4-2-5 like a nickel type of set. So if it is a true safety checking him, he can still run routes like a receiver, and he's still fast enough to give you that threat. So you have to respect him, and he can block.
And he's huge.
So, yeah, and he's huge. So I'm like any Virginia team that's really been successful, and let's go back, George Walsh years, like the tight end position is a position that if you had to respect that position, we were very good overall.
Right.
Also, Coach Elliott addressed the O-line in the portal, adding tons of talent and depth. How do you evaluate the offensive line heading into this season?
Man, I really feel like our defensive line really prepared those guys because that defensive front get after you. Like Hunter Osborne and Mitchell Melton, Daniel Rickert. I mean, Daniel is a freaking Tasmanian devil off the edge. He was shorter, undersized defensive end, or a bandit as we have in our defense, but he gets after you. Moore and Kamek, Kadelka. Like, our defensive front really got after those guys to make sure it's iron sharpening iron. And I felt like they got better. They started to gel. Those guys are older, like Drake Metcalf is a graduate. Brady Wilson's a graduate. Wallace is a graduate. So they played a lot of football. So the learning curve is accelerated. They can adjust very well, and they coach well as well. So all those things coming together, and then you got your OGs on the left side that people aren't expecting the most out of. So that's like they have a chip on their shoulder. They understood the struggles that they had in the past. I thought Josie was really solid last year. Yeah. And I know, Boley just had injuries that he was dealing with. So, but they have a chip on their shoulder to live up to what the 3 new guys that started on the right of them are going to do. So I just really feel like it's always important for your offensive coordinator to showcase the talents of the group and do what they do, to help display what they do best. So I'm excited, man. I just want us to just play with a flow. Don't feel like you got to get this player the ball, and feel like don't be robotic. Okay, it's time for us to give him the ball. Okay, now it's time to give him the ball. Like, no, if it's something working, stay with it. Like if X is working, you stay with X. If J is working, you stay with J. If Whaley comes in and he's working, you stay with that. If they're showing a lot of guys in the box and you see we have a matchup with Trail, you go with that. Like, allow your scheme to dictate where the matchup is at, because we know what they're trying to compensate and help. So that's what I would want to see this year. But I really feel like up front we are really better.
Yeah. I was going to say that kind of leads into the next question. Like, we seemingly have a lot of guys that can go get the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
We got a brand new secondary for the but if we can get to the quarterback, the secondary doesn't even have to be as good. I mean, honestly, do you think? I mean, we haven't been very good at getting to the quarterback. Do you think we can cause some havoc this year, get more turnovers, some sacks, create some 3rd and longs, things like that?
Yeah, I really feel like schematically, Coach Rudd has shown in years past, like his first year, that he can draw up stunts to really get out their quarterback and not really leave guys on the island, but also call for guys that are on the corner to play to their strength. Like, we got 2 corners who are 6'3". You got a corner that's 6'3" and a corner that's 6'4". So that's showing me bump and run, long wingspan, the reroute that should give us an extra second, be patient, shuffle, open 45, get to the top field shoulder. Don't fall in love with just grabbing the guy and then falling off and then getting by you. But I feel like with that height, if they're just patient at the line of scrimmage, allowing a receiver to work at the line of scrimmage, and once they commit, then they shoot their hands and then they shuffle to widen them out. That's an extra second of rerouting that allows our defensive line to either work their scheme or just work their one-on-one pass rush, to where our linebackers can now clamp and come in the A gaps to press and see, all right, are you releasing or are you blocking? Because if you're blocking, I could trigger. But that can all happen if your 6'3" and 6' corners play to that and just reroute the receivers by just their body and just their technique of staying square and shuffling and then opening 45 versus allowing a little shake and bake and then opening the gate and allowing them to run straight to the field. That's not rerouting them. If we could just make them run the bubble some, you're 6'4", you're 6'3". You just shoot your inside hand, they go outside and you just drive them a little bit and then you cut them off in the 45. That quarterback has to pat. And that's all. As a DB, if I create this for you, you better get home.
That's right.
You look and, oh, that ain't there. Now you better be there because I did my job.
We got 6'7" Kamak and 6'8" Kadelka, the 6'3", 6'4" corners. Yeah. Is this the best get off the bus looking team that we've had ever?
Hey, I remember Dr. Williams. Shout out to Carla Williams, her first time seeing a Bronco Mendenhall bowl eligible team when we played in the Military Bowl. And she was just like, man, this team is kind of small. This team is like a basketball team. Even our punters is big. Even our long snappers is big. Like, everybody is tall. So they look like Tarzan. So they need to play like Tarzan too. I mean, they could go out there and win a couple hoop it ups and, big. We might send a team to the Big Three and be okay.
So Jameer Carter went to Charlotte, as a part of the representatives for the team. What impact have you seen with him having both on the field and in the locker room?
Man, his work ethic. Shout out to his dad. Like, you see his dad on social media, you see where the work ethic comes from.
Oh, yeah.
Just his work ethic. Here's a guy that was playing 60, 65, 70 snaps at that size and never complained, but you don't want that type of body type for what he does, playing that many snaps, but he just always gave you his all. And when guys around him see how hard he works, how soft-spoken and responsible that he is, it trickles down. And guys buy in. And he, his nickname is the Juggernaut. So, I mean, that's self-explanatory.
There you go.
Right.
And he can squat so much. Some of his workout videos, unbelievable. I can't remember the last number I saw, but that's a strong guy. He's a unit.
Yeah, so, when he put weight up, it just, well, how much weight is that? You just say too much.
I don't know.
Too much, that's right.
So what areas defensively do you think UVA absolutely must improve on compared to last year to stay competitive in the ACC this year?
What group you think?
I'm gonna go with defensive back,
What position group though?
corner.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we better improve at corner. We better improve at corner because playing corner works hand in hand with the defensive line. Whether it's the front seven or the front four, work hand in hand. Just speaking from experience, like either they make my job easier or I make their job easier, but it works in tandem. It really does work together. Because if I can't reroute a receiver at the line of scrimmage, you have no chance with your get off because it's just clap, catch the ball, look, one pat, let it go. Don't matter how good of a get off you got in front of your, the offensive tackle or you're running the game. We're not rerouting receivers or we're playing so far back it's easy just to throw a 5-yard hitch. But if you have guys who can play 7 yards off, very patient in their back pedal, use proper leverage, really drive into the football. Now, you may not pick it off, but the fact that you're timing it and you're getting to the ball within a second of the receiver catching the ball, quarterbacks start to say, oh, man, they're getting close. And in crunch time, all you need is that quarterback to just think like, man, they're getting close. Let me make sure now. So instead of them throwing before you come out your break, they wait until you come out your break. And if you could cause that, that's that extra time. Like I told you, it's just timing. Sometimes a defensive lineman can help me jump a route because I understand that quarterback seeing ghosts. So I could just sit on the route because I know they're getting home. So I'm not even going to backpedal now. I'm going to just jump a route because I know we running that dog again and they see, Kamat coming off and his hands are coming up and they like, oh, let me get rid of the ball. And you catch it here. That's just a quarterback saying, here, you take it. I don't want the ball. So it's just one of the things I feel like we got to work in tandem. But again, 6'3" and 6'4" at corner. If you're playing off coverage, you better be have fluid hits because you're so tall. Teams are going to feel like they could double move you, so you really have to be sound in your pedal, sound in your fundamentals as far as the percentages of where the receiver is lined up at compared to where the ball is at. Understanding that if it's the far hash and he's at the top of the numbers, these are the routes he'll probably run. But if he's at the bottom of the numbers, these are the routes he's going to run. So it's just a mindset of understanding the game and slowing it down because that helps out the front four. And if we send help, meaning an extra linebacker, now where's the weakness? Where's the hole in the defense? All right, let's take that away. We'll give this up, but this is a longer throw. So I'm going to sit here, force you to run that route, force that throw, and that guy better be good because if it's not a perfect throw, I can still get to it. Mm-hmm.
So you talked about running that dog, and last time we had you on, we talked about the team just needs some dogs. Which players bring that dog energy that can shift the momentum for this UVA team? Do we have those dogs this year?
I like Devin Neal. I think he's a silent assassin. Just looking at our depth. I mean, of course, Cam is a dog. James is a filthy junkyard dog. He's filthy. He looked clean, but he filthy. Jason Hammond is a dog that's always been here. Oh, yeah. Hunter Osborne's a dog. Kamak is a dog that just works. I mean, I think this is not rose-colored glass. I really feel like everybody on the defensive front some dogs. Like, they get after you, bro. Like, ain't no helping you up.
Is there an Antonio Dingle?
No, there'll never be another. Never.
That's a great name.
How did you know that name? And who told you to ask me that? That's what I want to know. You talked to Dingle? Because
when me and Jeff had season tickets, we would wait. We would be so like when he would come out of the tunnel, we would know like the team is ready. Like he was our guy.
What color contacts he have in?
Oh God, I don't know about that.
I don't know. Yeah.
He used to wear contacts like Dennis Rodman sometimes.
Oh,
God.
wow. We just
He was
know
a
when
bad
he came
man.
out bouncing.
Oh,
You know,
bad.
he would just come out bouncing, and we were hyped.
Oh my God. You guys said Antonio Dingo. Wow. That dude was different. He was different.
Oh yeah.
God, dog. Antonio Dingo. Man, you just took me back and made me smile because he made it fun to play football. He
Yeah.
really did. He made it fun to play football.
It looked like he was having fun, and then the other
Right?
guy
You're
there.
having too much fun, Antonio. Calm down. Right.
Listen. Oh, Jay's been waiting to hear you say that all night.
Yeah.
Right. Almighty. You don't have to celebrate every time. Christ. Don't you get tired?
Oh God.
Back in those days, those big third downs. I mean, the guys they were waving on the crowd. Like get up, get
Oh,
up, get up.
PK?
That's what I want
Oh.
to see again.
Hey, look, PK.
Big John Harris out there,
Yeah.
6'8". That's why I'm like, maybe these guys will be like him.
Yeah, buddy. The good old days.
I didn't get to experience them.
They're coming back, Jack. They're coming
I
back.
hope so.
I mean, you got a taste of it though, Jack. Though, like,
oh man,
that
that
game,
2019
that Tech game 2019 was old school.
Aziz Dubois.
Yep.
Come
Oh,
on.
the Florida State game, like that Florida State game, that Virginia Tech game here at home, just gave you a glimpse of what it was like anytime we played the ACC foe here at the Scott, especially like a UNC. Also, like,
Yep.
it was a barn burner. Like it was gonna be blood on the field playing them Tar Heels. I know Tech always seen the rival, but it ain't nothing like hitting people in the MILF, as Coach Danny Woon would say, God rest his soul. Hit him right square in the MILF. Get them Tar Heels in the mouth.
Oh gosh. So what would you say to fans who are still waiting to see actual wins on the field before buying in again?
It just depends on like how they feel about the opponent. Like, of course, you just want to win games, stack the games, get 3 wins, 4 wins. I really feel like you win your first 4 games. Do we play Florida State the 5th game? I feel like you win those games and then you beat the Florida State on a Friday. Florida State plays Bama. And I know the mystique of Florida State isn't the same, but they still get these 5-star, 4-star.
Mm-hmm.
So you could get if look, this place would be rocking. You get the 5-0. It really would.
Oh.
As much as people don't think the schedule was that strong.
An FSU win.
Yeah, I always tell folks like, yeah, the schedule may not look strong. But how you think those teams feel seeing us on the schedule? They probably like, oh, that's easy. Like our fans thinking who we playing is easy, and they fans like they only won 5 games. They easy.
Yeah. We were picked 15th in the conference.
15, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll take them. You get the 5 wins. Let me put my homework away. I gotta stop. I'm getting too excited.
You might say something that people been getting on me on the boards a little bit. Jeff gets on me even today. We went on Luke here.
You go undefeated by a bye week, boy. Say you bowl eligible for your first bye, because it's 6 games before our first bye week, right?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yes, I think that Louisville game's the last game before the bye.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What we be looking like here in the Ville if you bowl eligible going into your bye week?
Oh, come on.
And coming off a win against Louisville.
And coming off a win versus Louisville down there.
And you're ranked. You're probably ranked around 15 at that point.
Nah, they ain't
I
ranking
have
nothing.
6 wins now.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Maybe ranked. I don't know about top 15.
Our coach named Tony, but his last name ain't Bennett. Okay. They ain't gonna rank us.
So from a football IQ standpoint, like, we learn something every time we talk to you. But what do you think that the average fan like just overlooks completely when they're watching games?
That's a great question. I know a lot of times I always want fans to see like the entire picture. Like, I always love when a fan be like, or I love to see a statement be like, did we make any adjustments? What were the adjustments? And I'm like, The only time you get credit for an adjustment is if the adjustment works.
Yep.
Right? You could try to make an adjustment, but it still wasn't executed. So that adjustment you're not credited with trying to make adjustments. It's just you didn't do anything. So it's like, I want you to really like pay attention. If you can kind of pay attention to like formations and what plays we're running, or if we get into a certain rhythm that you can predict, you know, are we going run, pass, or pass, run, or every first down we pass the ball, or every second and short we do this play or do that play. Like in the booth, and when I'm watching film, a lot of times when I'm prepping for a game for our opponents, I try to like see if I could pick up on a rhythm. Because as a player, I was like a guy that tendencies, right? Like, what do you really like to do when it comes to making a play, or if your team needs a play as a coordinator? Like, what are you trying to do? Are you going to throw the ball? Do you feel safe running mesh? Do you feel safe smash? Are you going to run dagger? Like, what is it that you're really going to go to? Like, if I'm thinking of like Dez Kitchen, it's like, I know you want to establish the inside A gap. I know you want to run inside zone. I know that. That's just my scouting report. You want to run inside zone because everything builds off of your ability to run that inside zone action. Like, if we could run inside zone, everything is in rhythm because now you could pop the seam. You could pull, maybe throw a bubble. Like, now you could run play action and get out the pocket because I know you're trying to pull the safeties down. So a lot of times I like to ask fans, like, try to see the whole field versus just watching the ball. Like, if you could just use your peripheral and you know the ball's being snapped, but pay attention to like the corners and the safeties pre-snap and see where they at. And then after the ball snaps, see what happens. Like, did our corner just lose leverage? You know, are the hips tight? Is he slow to get out of his break? Because a lot of times, Jackson used to catch a lot of heat, right? Oh my God, he's getting toasted. I'm like, bro, they run an RPO on him and he's outside leverage. And I don't know if he's supposed to be outside leverage, but are we going to buzz a backer out there to help him? Or is that RPO pulling the backer and we just conceding it? Because a lot of times he would just give up his inside real quick. So it was like, man, is that a scheme thing or is that a him thing?
Right.
That's what I will always struggle with because I'm not in the meeting rooms. It's like, and if you try to take, I know that's a tough play to take away. Like that RPO with that looky route is tough for a corner because you already outside leverage. And by design, those offensive linemen now can get up the field 1 to 1.5 yards. So you may think, you know, run and you freeze and look at the receiver to see if he's running a route and they come off and then boom, they burst. I'm on arena football running high motion and giving up looky routes. It's like, yo, that's a tough route, but it's like you got to start to settle and say, all right, I gotta sooner or later, I gotta take it away with my alignment. Let you know you're not getting this route. You're gonna have to go out here. We just gonna have to battle, but y'all not gonna get this throw no more.
Right.
What would you say for this 2025 team? If everything somehow clicks, what is the ceiling? And if the same issues from last year linger, what's the floor?
Can the floor be the ceiling?
Like Michael Jordan?
Yeah, like
The ceiling is the roof.
Yeah.
Oh man, I really feel like the ceiling is like, I'm going off just our program. Like 9 has always seemed like the ceiling because we gotten to 10 a couple of times. But if you get to 9, that's usually like the UVA football. Like I remember I got to 9 and how hard it is to get to 10. And then the floor, 6, it better be at least 6. Like you can't have under 6 wins. You cannot go another year without becoming bowl eligible. Can't happen. Just can't happen.
Yep. 100% agree. All right, Ballhawk, we got some rapid fire questions for you. We're going to go through a couple of these. Just go quick fire, all right?
All right.
All right, we're going to start most improved player from last season to now.
Eli Wood.
All right. The biggest dog on the team.
James Jackson.
The team MVP at the end of the season. Give me offense and defense.
Chandler Morris for offense. Defense. Man, that's tough. I'm gonna say Kamat because that means we was getting after the quarterback.
There you go.
All right.
UVA is undefeated until what game?
Man, you can't ask me to predict the Lord. Come on, man. That's messed up. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Let me. Dang, I ain't got the schedule up. Who we play?
When are the playoffs?
Yeah, when are the playoffs? When is the ACC championship? Okay,
Yeah, you don't have to answer that one.
Yeah.
We play Clemson in the ACC championship.
There you go. UVA's 2025 season in one word.
Spectacular.
There you go.
Love
Love it.
Love it.
Love it.
Absolutely love it. Got a few more questions for you, Ballhawk. And again, we appreciate your time.
No
Going
problem.
a little bit off script here, I wanted to ask you, what will it take and how important is it to take down Virginia Tech this year? You beat them in 2019, but that's the only time in the last 2 decades or whatever it is. How important is that game this year to not let them back onto our field, let the fans rush our field, and to get back after them?
I mean, I think it's always important to protect your house, but especially against those guys that wear the diarrhea colored jerseys. Like, you got to beat them. Same way with UNC. No matter what, you got to beat them. Like, those are two teams that is like, you got to beat them.
Yeah,
you just have to. And Virginia Tech, a team that's had our numbers, and they could bask in that glory. But you gotta beat them when they come here in Charlottesville. You just have to, because they just disrespect our home with no remorse.
Yep. The sprinklers ain't gonna cut it.
Nah, that ain't gonna cut it.
I need more than the sprinklers cut.
Yeah,
on.
and we can't be like Rajah Rampage, and we can't do that.
That was terrible.
Yeah, we can't.
Yeah, we don't want that.
We don't want that. We ain't trying to get no receipts.
No.
Well, we can't have you on without asking you, do you have a story about old Coach Welsh that you can tell us tonight?
I love Coach Welsh. I always say that first. Because Christ, look, let me tell you guys something. It's 1998. And you guys are winning. And we're going down to Atlanta to play Georgia Tech. And they got you number 6 in the country. You should be happy for yourself. Everybody like, yeah, baby, woo, you're not that good. Stop celebrating. I'm like, what? You just told us good job, coach. But you're not that good. But every time he would read his note, he put his reading glasses on. I said, and another thing. And Coach is old school. He had the index cards. And you gotta like take out the inside pocket and. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Where's Thomas Jones? Having a great season. Yeah. That's it. What else? What are you guys still sitting here for? Like, what are you gonna say next? And then when you leave, wait, I'm not done. Sit down. I'm gonna tell you. You're never as good as they say, you're never bad as they say. Don't read the press clippings. You're not that good. And then when we lost to Georgia Tech down there, because he told us at halftime to relax because we was like celebrating. Christ, calm down. The game's not over. I'm telling you, you're not that good. And we were like putting foot to them too. I think we was up, I don't know, maybe 14 or 20, something crazy. We always blew leads that year. Same thing versus that was the year before we played Carolina. I think it was like up 20-0, and they was number 6 in the country. Anyway, but he'd be like, you guys need to you guys need to be focused and then get to the sideline. Just run the ball, run the clock. Just run the clock out. Why's the clock going so slow? Like, no, we ain't gonna win this game. I told you you're not that good. You didn't listen.
I love it.
That was Coach.
I love it.
I love Coach. Coach Welsh was a man of few words in front of everybody. But he had an open door policy, and he always had like a fun fact for me. just a story that always seemed like you ever go to church and you feel like the preacher's like preaching to you. He just always had a story that was just tailored for you at the time in which you needed. And so we had so many talks. That's why I always show him love by imitating him, because I spent a lot of time with Coach outside of the field, just talking life. So, it was always a pleasure seeing Coach in town. And it was a guy on the radio that was imitating me. He sounded just like me. Was it you? I'm like, no. Right. Why would I do that?
Oh, we appreciate that.
That's great. That's great
Gold right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to pull that out on the broadcast at some point.
Sometimes I do. So John, it catches John off guard. Especially I'd be like, Christ, catch the ball. Like, oh my God. Let's stay locked in now, Mud. Like the Coastal Carolina game where we was really blowing them out. I hit the coach once a couple times. He was like, all right, Ahmad, let's make sure we stand on track. I am. What are you doing?
Oh man, that's great stuff. So last one for you, Ball Hawk. Again, we appreciate your time. Lo Davis came on our show back in the off season and said Coach Elliott has everything he needs to get to Charlotte this season. What has to happen for that to happen, and what % odds would you place on just a top 4 finish in the ACC?
What has to happen?
Yes.
First, cliche, take care of the football. That's cliche. But I really feel like we just got to be consistent on offense. Like, we can't have lulls in the game where we don't score or threaten to score. Like, we really just got to be consistent in what we're doing offensively, protecting the quarterback, defensively, getting timely stops, getting off the field, like tracking like how many 3-and-outs we generate, because those are demoralizing to opposing offenses. We know what that does to us offensively over the years. 3-and-outs, like, it takes something out of you. And most importantly, Cam Ross being special in special team. His ability to return the football, create short fields for our offense, whether it's a kick return or punt return. Because one thing Joe Reed used to do, if a team scored and got momentum, he snatched it right back.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's like something that's not talked about a lot because we're so focused on offense and defense. But special teams points are points that you don't account for, especially touchdowns. Not like field goals, but special team touchdowns, that's something you don't account for. And Joe would do that. They might be coming back and they just took the lead, or they just tied it. They swag surfing, and then boom, they forget and kick it to 2. And then he goes, touchdown. Serving juice to him, So I really feel like that the special teams really have to be special for us to really reach Charlotte and compete in the ACC championship. Because that year, who was special? Joe was.
Yeah, yeah, really. What would you say is the % odds that UVA could finish top 4 in the ACC this season?
Hey man, who raised you, man? What's up with these questions?
Oh man,
huh? You're doing too good, man. This is too good. Like, you come up with these questions.
We all do.
Man, these are tough. You're doing an outstanding job. So, all right, I got to be an analyst, not a fanboy, because fanboy, I'm gonna say 90%. I don't never think we're gonna lose that many. But to be fair, I say it's about to finish in the top 4. So you got SMU, Clemson,
Louisville.
The thing is, we don't have to be better than all those teams.
We really don't,
because we don't play them.
We don't play SMU. We play Louisville. I feel like it's like with that being said, like a 60% chance. Because everybody has a lot of turnover, so everybody's team. I know Duke is good, and everybody's going to give Bill Belichick and UNC some love because how great of a professional coach he was. But I'd say about a 60%, just because it's not like the old days where everybody had the same starters and just build on that through recruiting. The high school level is just transfer. So everybody's like you was a big name and your coach is this, so we're gonna give you this wins, and you with this, and we're gonna give you this many wins. So 60%.
So
I
you're
like
saying we will finish ahead of where the media had us at whatever number 15 or whatever it was.
14 or something like that.
I believe so. I don't fault the media for doing that. It's the safest thing. Like it's a show me state. Like you got to show and prove. But I really feel like we'll finish higher than what the media thought.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. Well, Ballhawk, we appreciate your time once again for joining us tonight. It was great conversation. Cannot wait to get this season rolling coming Saturday. And I'm sure we'll be listening to the radio broadcast. See you around Scott Stadium, and have a good rest of your night.
Hey, before I leave, I want to give you guys a special shout out. I check out your shows. Love you guys' interview. I think you guys been doing an outstanding job. You really been just striking the iron wise hot. Like just your diversity as far as who you guys interview, the type of questions you ask. That's why I just looked at you like, man, you asked some good questions. But I really feel like you guys do a phenomenal job. I really feel like, me personally, I just love to just always give people their flowers, and especially when you're part of the home team and anybody that's covering UVA sports. I just feel like on this podcast platform, we always got to, big each other up, promote each other, listen to each other, support each other, because the world wants to make it like you got to compete. I just feel like everybody has their own call in their own lane, and we can all help elevate each other in the space because there's so many avenues. I just want to give you guys your flowers because I'm really a fan of what you guys do, and I'm always listening and laughing and just loving the questions and the conversations that you guys start. So really appreciate you guys and your platform.
Thank you so much. That means a lot.
You just made our night.
Christ, I tried. Okay.
We're not that good. We're not that good.
They say I'm not very nice, So I guess I was nice tonight.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Ballhawk. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. Wahoo wah.
Wahoo wah.
Once again, a big shout out and big thanks to Ballhawk for coming on to the program. Again, be sure to go check out his stuff at Believe in Virginia on all your podcasting networks. Such great stuff to say. Really quick bullet points on the interview. Dad, you got anything?
Yeah, the only thing I got is, and I hadn't heard that name in ages myself, when Jay brought up Antonio Dingle, and obviously Ballhawk says, did you plan to mention him to me? And if you did, he wasn't on the script, but Dingle is, man, he's one of my all-time favorite defensive players. He was entertaining. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I just love listening to Ballhawk's George Welsh impersonation.
Yeah.
I would pay money to go see a stand-up where Ballhawk just tells Welsh stories, all night. But fantastic announcer and a even better human being, and we just, we're lucky that he takes some time for us because he doesn't have to do that.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, once again, big thanks to Ballhawk. Great analysis, great entertainment. Be sure to go check him out in the booth as well this season. Listen to the radio broadcast. A lot of people like to sync the radio broadcast with the TV broadcast. Sometimes a lot better than some of the ESPN guys. Just gonna say that. So be sure to go check that out. With that being said, that's going to wrap us up tonight. Be sure to go check out the website at thecavalierconnection.com. Got lots of articles out there. Preview article coming your way probably by the time you're listening to this today for the Coastal Carolina game, so you don't want to miss that. And be sure to go check out all the social medias at Cavalier Connection, at Talk UVA Sports, and etc. With that, that's going to wrap us up for tonight. And go Hoos!
Go Hoos!